When people think of Visa, they think of credit cards. But Visa is so much more than just a credit card company. It is a technology and innovation company that's making digital payments a reality for consumers, businesses, banks, and governments all around the world. At Visa, they have a simple and unwavering vision that can be traced back to their beginnings in 1958 to be the best way to pay and be paid for everyone, everywhere. They know that every Visa transaction is a promise. Whether you're at food trucks, outside the stadium, or paying your fantasy league dues online, Visa wants to provide you with the most secure and easy payment experience possible. All you have to figure out is, where would you like to be? Visa, everywhere you want to be. Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Good morning. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Hi, how we doing? Good morning.
Jenny. Great skip look. Great. That looks good. Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery.
I woke up like this.
Did you?
I woke up like
saying
this.
that all morning. What does that
Flawless.
mean?
Really?
Yes.
Huh. That's what LeBron said after the game.
Oh, flawless.
Flawless.
Oh, you got
I
that?
saw a whole bunch of flaws, but we'll talk about that.
You know that chant the Spurs used to do?
Yeah.
Go Spurs, go.
Yeah.
No Spurs, no. Which means no playoffs this year.
You stole that from me on Twitter.
Maybe some MVP as well.
You said that
Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery.
We've got an awesome show for you today. Is Jerry Jones officially putting Jason Garrett on the hot seat? And guys, the one and only Keegan-Michael Key is going to join us live in studio. I am so looking forward to that one. But first, we're going to start with Lamar Jackson, the second-year QB, put on a show in the Coliseum during his Monday Night Football debut as the Ravens dismantled the Rams 45-6. Lamar tied his career high with 5 touchdown passes and also added 95 yards on the ground. And after the game, Lamar downplayed his personal numbers and gave the team some props, saying, quote, "We are clicking on all cylinders right now. It's okay, but we're trying to win the Super Bowl." So, Shannon, how close did Lamar come to locking up the MVP last night?
Skippy took a big step, and I tweeted, I believe, after tonight's performance, he has a stranglehold on the MVP.
Now, you thought Russell Wilson had a little edge going in.
He had a little edge going in. But, Skip, you know, there are 50 men and women that vote, and a lot of these men and women that vote, they cover other teams. So a lot of times when Lamar Jackson is...
Very good point.
When Lamar Jackson is playing, you don't actually get an opportunity. You just look at the stat sheet, oh, he did that.
Okay.
But last night...
Yep.
You got an opportunity to see up close and personal what this young man's about. Skip, we always knew he could run the football. He won the Heisman, and people undervalued. And I didn't think that this quickly his arm could catch up to his legs, because there have been very few people that have the dynamic skills of his legs. You saw last night, Skip, they snapped the ball to him, he bobbles it. He picks it up and almost hits his head on the goalpost. There have only been a handful of quarterbacks, maybe 2 or 3. Mike Vick, Lamar Jackson, maybe Randall Cunningham or Cam. Okay, I forgot Cordell Stewart. Cordell Stewart could really, really run back in his day. But, Skip, this guy is a very unique athlete, because what he's done is he's turned himself into a very good thrower of the football. Skip, I want to take you back to last year. And I know you remember this, and he had, last year he in 7 starts, he had 6 touchdown passes. This year's at 24. But last year in the playoff game against the Chargers, I want to take you back, and this was being echoed in his building, in his stadium. DJ, can we cue this up right quick?
So hear the crowd? Let it go.
They want Flacco.
Wow.
Skip, they wanted Flacco.
Do you remember what he was through 3 quarters, Lamar?
It was terrible.
3 for 9 for 25 yards through 3 quarters.
And I said, and I picked the Chargers to win because I didn't believe that after having seen what he was going to do, I didn't believe he could improve in 3 weeks to be able to throw the football.
Yeah. Then you picked the Chargers to win at Foxborough, and that's where it ended.
And that's where it ended. But, Skip, now in his building, cue the one that they played New England 2 weeks ago, Skip. And it goes from boos, we want Flacco, to after they beat New England, this is what's being echoed in his stadium. DJ, cue the track.
Crowd's already starting an MVP chant.
Skip, this is less than a year.
Was at least in the conversation.
They were chanting that last night in the Coliseum for a visiting player. Now, Skip, we get that a lot in basketball.
Yep.
You know, LeBron or KD or some of these guys put on virtuosos. You get a lot of that in the Garden, especially the Garden, because they haven't had anybody that can put that. But to have an opposing player come in football and to hear this. But, Skip, you look at his numbers and what he's done. His completion percentage is up 9. His yards per attempt is up. And last year, 6 touchdowns and 7 starts. This year, 24 and 11. He's tied with Russell Wilson as far as touchdown passes. And his legs. He's going to go well over 1,000 yards. And he's going to be somewhere around 32 to 35, maybe even 38 touchdown passes, which would be unheard of. But here's what happens, Skip. This Sunday, they play the 49ers. They win that game. And Lamar Jackson have the comparable. I don't know if he'll have 5 touchdowns and do what he did, but if he has a game like he's been having all year, I think he puts a stranglehold because he would have had victories over the Patriots, over Seattle, and the 49ers. 2 of those teams, Skip, will be number 1 seeds in their respective conferences. So if he were to go out and play, Skip, last night was unbelievable. You see the way he's throwing the football. He now possesses the 3 highest QBR totals for a season. I don't know if any other quarterback has as many 99 point whatever he had. He has a 99.7, 99.4, and a 99.8.
So now you love QB.
No, I'm just saying. But, okay, how about quarterback rating? He has 2 perfect quarterback ratings, and he might have had a perfect one last night had Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown not dropped passes.
They did.
He was phenomenal, and everybody got an opportunity to see. And, Skip, I don't think he's slowing down because the thing what you have to worry about is that when the play breaks down. We call a defense, Skip, we got everything scripted, got everything covered, and now he jumps out the window on you. Now what do? Good luck catching him. He's the MVP front runner right now.
So, in all my many years of covering, watching, studying pro football, the game you played, I have never, ever seen anything like Lamar Jackson. Not ever. He is revolutionizing not just the quarterback position, he's revolutionizing the whole game. Because I'm here to tell you, right here, right now, Lamar Jackson has become not just the best running quarterback in pro football, he's the best running back in pro football. Period, end of story. I'll take him over Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott, whoever you want to throw in there. I'll just take him to the point I'm already starting to go historical with his style and impact as a running back. He's like a halfback of a quarterback because I'm starting to see Walter Payton. Seriously, did you cross over a little? I mean, you knew what he was.
He retired. He retired after they won the Super Bowl.
Okay. So in how fast Lamar is, coupled with how shifty and powerful Lamar is at about 215 pounds, he's Walter Payton reincarnate. And now you went from pathetic passer in the playoff game to having improved not 100%, 1,000%.
He has.
He has become as smart and poised and deadly a passer as there is in the whole league. I'm serious. If we just take right here, right now, you can have Drew Brees or whoever you want to throw in there right now. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, any of the names.
Any of those guys,
This guy on pure effectiveness is just flicking missiles. They're smart missiles. They're shrewd operator missiles where he's in total control of the offense. I see no indecision. His decision-making, as John Harbaugh said after the game, is unparalleled right now in the whole league. This is extraordinary because now we have the best running back blended with the most effective thrower in pro football. We've never seen this before, and the combination is absolutely lethal.
Skip, I'm watching him last night, and you see there's a defender in front of him. He drops angles on his arms, and he shoots it out to the side. If you watch him, that's the progression. He couldn't do that last year.
Okay, so not only did he destroy the Rams last night on Monday Night Football in their building, he toyed with the Rams. That's impossibly great. Wade Phillips is right up there with the greatest defensive coordinators who ever coordinated in this league. He is Tom Brady's kryptonite and always has been. And in the Super Bowl last year, Wade Phillips made it really hard on Tom Brady. And he's made it really hard on him in an AFC Championship game at Denver. And Aaron Donald, according to you, is not just the best defensive player, he's the best player in pro football. Well, he was out there for the whole game. And
he made him a non-factor.
Non-factor. I don't even remember him playing in the game. And then they just recently, the Rams, gave 2 firsts and a 4th for Jalen Ramsey, who a lot of people think is the best corner. After Sunday, you'd have to say Stephon Gilmore is right there. But the point is, you got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey playing for Wade Phillips in their stadium on Monday night in a game they desperately needed to win, and he destroyed and toyed with that. Are you kidding me?
Put a 45.
Okay, and yet his personal numbers are not eye-popping the way other big passers are, because he goes 15 or 20 for 189.
Right.
He goes 8 rushes for 95 yards, still very good. But the point was, he took the football 6 straight times and scored 6 straight touchdowns against Wade Phillips' defense with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. That's impossible.
And don't think this was a one-off. Skip, this is the 6th. Last night was the 6th time. I think 6th or 7th time. They've opened the drive with a touchdown. Skip, that's unheard of. You get the ball and you go right down the field and you score.
It looks so easy.
It does look easy.
And then my team, the Dallas Cowboys, can't seem to cash in the red zone, and Lamar just drops back in the red zone like, la-di-da, I think I'll throw it to him, and he'll be wide open for a touchdown. Or I'll go over there and throw it to him, or maybe I'll just take off.
Skip, they were so confident last night. Again, 4th down. They lined up, Jason and Tucker's on the field to kick the field goal. Lamar comes, Tuck, Tuck. We going for it. And they get it and go get the touchdown.
5 touchdown passes, none of them of the sensational bombs away variety, but still, the red zone touchdowns are hard to throw.
Because
my quarterback's having a hard time finding one.
The area is so condensed.
It is. It's hard. It's maybe much harder than an 80-yard bomb where you just have some single covered receiver who's run past the DB.
What he's forced you to do, because of his legs, he requires you to cover so much area of the field because you're so spread out, because you're worried about him getting on the edge. And they do a lot of blocking and running schemes where they get him to the edge. So you spaced out, and you see Andrews, you see Hollywood Brown, you see guys running in the seams, and you're like, well, they're so worried about his legs. Because you know he jumps out the window and hit a crease. Okay, good luck. It's 20 yards before you even touch him.
That is true. He went 7 for 7 on 3rd down while he was in the game. That's impossible.
It's impossible.
This is Wade Phillips' defense. You just annihilated it on Monday Night Football.
They're littered with first-rounders. Aaron Donald's a first-rounder. Brockers was a first-rounder. Dante Fowler was a first-rounder. Jalen Ramsey is a first-rounder. They got 4 of their 11 starters were first-rounders. And he toyed with them. He made those guys look like, whoever has the worst defense currently in the NFL, that's what he made the Rams look like. And it wasn't even close. That game was never close.
Never.
Speaking of the Rams, at least my team, the Cowboys, they haven't lost a game 45-6. Are you kidding me? 45-6.
They hadn't played Lamar Jackson. They hadn't played L. Jack
Think of
yet.
who they were last year and the change.
Okay, remember, Jameis went in there and destroyed them, right?
He put 55 up.
55 on them. So this team in the Super Bowl last year, it's the old Super Bowl loser syndrome. They're 6-5, and they look dead in the water. And Jared Goff looks like he got way overpaid. That's how it looks to me, right?
And Skip, just watching him and seeing the progression, he's playing with supreme confidence. He's like, right now, nobody can stop me. He's playing like it. And look how his Skip, you talk about how Tom Brady teammates love him. Look at how his teammates
love him.
How they respond to him. The defense.
And, he doesn't carry himself like, I'm the best player or I'm the leader of this team. He acts like he's just one of the guys, right? Because he knows he's just in his second year. But that team has ignited, because I'm going to remind everybody, they did lose back-to-back games, and Lamar was just okay at Kansas City. He just had a mediocre game by his standards. And then the aberration game of the year is that the Cleveland Browns went to Baltimore and won 40-25. And Lamar wasn't bad in the game. He just wasn't great.
It was the turnovers. He gave Cleveland too many.
He threw 2 picks.
And I think he fumbled.
I think he fumbled away. So the point was they have taken off since then, and they have that look of a Super Bowl team that came out of nowhere and just took off.
Skip, is their ability to run the football. Skip, they had another 285.
Yep.
They're averaging 210. You got to go back to the 70s to get teams that ran the football like this. The Buffalo Bills of the 70s with OJ, they ran the ball like this.
Yep.
The last time we've had someone had the big discrepancy like we have now, you got to go back to the 01 Steelers when they had Jerome Bettis and they ran the ball. But they didn't throw the ball. They can throw it and they can run it.
They can.
And people look at his stats, well, he only threw 169, but they had damn near 300 rushing.
Okay.
So what does that do, Skip? Your offense over there chilling.
Yep.
If you run the ball like this, your offense ain't seeing the field, but maybe 3 or 4 times.
The Ravens held the football for 40 minutes to the Rams 20 minutes.
Oh.
That's not fair.
Yeah, that's not even.
You have the ball 2 to 1 times more. 2 to 1.
And you know what it does, Skip? Because you know you're not going to get very many possessions. It put extra pressure because we got to do something. Now you take unnecessary risk. You turn that ball over, guess what? He's on the field for another 8-9 minutes.
That is correct. So as you point out, the Ravens have 285 rushing. The Los Angeles Rams, featuring Todd Gurley, had a grand total of 22 yards rushing. Those 22 belonged only to Todd Gurley because everybody else had, 1, 0, -1, but 22 yards, and one of those carries was for 15. So on 5 other carries, Todd Gurley went for 7 yards. So, and that would be the total for the Rams. So they had one 15-yard run, and they wound up with a grand total of 22 yards. This is last year's Super Bowl representative from the NFC.
Right.
Really?
Wow.
Ooh.
When you can run it like that, Skip, let that sink in. Skip, they're 65 clear of the next closest rushing team. 65. So you know.
And that's the 49ers whom they're about to play. Okay?
That one's going to be fun.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at these two teams, you're like, okay, they play. I think the 49ers might have a slightly better defense, but you don't think, Skip, Baltimore Ravens are averaging 35 points a game. The next closest are the 49ers at 30.
Yep.
You don't think of these two teams as putting that many points on the board, but Lamar's had a 59-point game, a 45-point game, another 40. They hung 40 on Coach Belichick.
Yep, they did.
Now, you don't. So we think the Patriots defense have a historic. They're on pace, to break the Baltimore Ravens scoring record for defense.
He toyed with them.
And he put it on them.
He did. So I have absolutely no doubt that Lamar can sustain this performance level, but should there be any doubt that he can sustain this durability level? Because he did take one shot that concerned me last night on a keeper to the left, if we could see this, in the second quarter, and Troy Hill just tags him because he just decided, I'm going to just take him on. That won't fly. You can't keep doing that.
No.
That's not necessary.
No. It's risky.
Just get down, get out. Just
once you get the first down,
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to prove your manhood.
I think as he gets even more and more, as he gets better and better at throwing the football, they will call less and less of these diagram runs. But it just goes to show you, because this is what his backup could have been. But he wanted to graduate. Skip, he went from K, and all of a sudden he wanted to go straight to college.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go through the steps. Lamar Jackson said, why do I want to be? I'm Lamar. I'm not Peyton. I'm not Tom Brady or Drew Brees. There will come an evolution.
Yep.
Steve Young was just like Lamar Jackson early in his career. And he learned that, you know what, in order for me to have sustained success and to ultimately get to where I want to be, win a championship, I got to throw the ball from the pocket. Elway was the same way. He will get better, and they will call less and less of these runs. But his legs will always be an asset. They will always be able to get him out of harm's way. But what you're starting to see, Skip, is that when he starts to move, he's starting moving laterally. So he's trying to buy time to find someone to get open. So he's just not, okay, I can just go. No, he's surveying the field. And that's what you want to see. Skip, the sky's the limit for this young man.
So ESPN had a great note last night that Lamar said that he couldn't even throw a spiral last year because he found the NFL ball to be slightly bigger and slicker than his college ball.
Oh, they are.
Okay.
They are bigger.
Okay, so it took an offseason of commitment and dedication to try to figure out regripping, restructuring your delivery to where, boy, he's just throwing a lot of spirals now, right?
He's throwing a lot of them.
And they are darts, man.
Yes.
They are deadly accurate.
Who would have thought, Skip, that this man would have 2 games in which you throw 5 touchdown passes in the same season. He'd have a 2 perfect quarterback ratings or a 3 almost perfect QBR games. The evolution. The guy got booed by his home fans. Now he's the leader for the MVP in less than a year.
Yeah, and by the way, if Kyler Murray had little Hollywood Brown in the national semifinal against Alabama last year, we might be having a different
We're having no discussion.
Yep.
I am with you there.
Thank you. He tried to play and he limped onto the field. He had the foot injury.
Yeah, he had Liz Frank.
I think it was. It was bad.
Yeah.
They didn't realize how bad it was either until after the fact.
But
I hear that. I love Hollywood. I've loved watching.
So here's the difference I see right now in San Francisco's road and Baltimore's road. Okay. I'm still pretty sure Baltimore's road is going to have to go to the Super Bowl through Foxborough. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yes.
I think the Patriots can win out and keep their game advantage for home field throughout the playoffs over Baltimore.
Okay.
The advantage Baltimore would have is they do have a tradition of winning in Foxborough. It's not this team, but it is a legacy that got left by you and Ray and others in that locker room where you just walk in the locker room and you just have this belief of, we've done, there's a history here of doing this. And plus, you already wiped them out in your building, so you've got a feel.
It definitely gives you confidence that you can do it again. But the sign is like when you go into the Ravens facility, the Under Armour facility in Baltimore, it's like play like a Raven. There's a standard. You play to
really
very cool to me. Yeah, that's real.
You play to a standard.
No
matter if you're offense, defense, or special teams, you know what you are, you know what you represent. And when you come into this building, we play like that. Every play, snap the whistle.
They are something.
Man.
Something special is happening.
Who'd have thought? This guy's must-see TV. Man, Lamar Jackson playing. Let me see what he's going to go. What are you going to do today?
You got to see what he's up to. The guy who was doubted, and we have to always keep that in mind. No one really knew his potential, and he has taken it upon himself.
And our man, Michael Vick, who is kind of his big brother mentor figure, was at the game last night. Michael put on the greatest show I've ever seen on Monday Night Football when he was an Eagle, right?
And he threw it against Washington on Monday night.
And maybe it was the stats are more spectacular, but on pure performance, I'm afraid his little brother got him last night.
Yeah.
Jenny, you know who's leading the QBR? And it ain't even close.
It
ain't even close.
He's leading.
So now you're QB.
This is like Usain Bolt in the Beijing Olympics. That's how far he is in front of everybody with the QBR. I don't know where your guy at.
He's third. My guy's third.
You
led all year until Sunday.
Just until last week.
If you're not first, I don't even want to talk about second and third.
Really?
Are you first?
No, but
then.
I could be before it's over.
You believe that?
I do.
No mercy.
We got to get to those Cowboys who are just 2 days away from hosting the Bills on Thanksgiving. Quick turnaround, but everyone is still talking about their loss to the Patriots on Sunday when Jerry Jones implied that Jason Garrett and the rest of the Dallas staff got out-coached. Jerry is on the radio right now speaking more about his coaching staff this morning. Take a listen.
Did you consider an in-season head coaching change after Sunday?
Again, the answer is no. Period. But I sit there and watch games. I watch games, and I look at every aspect of it. Since I put the coaches out there, since I put the players out there, at the end of the day, with a lot of help and with a collaborative effort. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with me, and I am highly critical, and I'm continually evaluating the performance of everybody involved with the game.
Okay, Shannon, what did Jerry's comments tell you?
Skip, he's frustrated. Jerry vents, and this is what he does, Skip, after every game. Jerry reactions is more fan-based than kind of like ownership. His reaction is like fans. Skip, we win. We going to the Super Bowl. You the best ever. We lose, our season's over. And that's how Jerry is, Skip. He just happens to be an owner that has a fan-like mentality when it comes to wins and losses. And he's like, there's another clip he says like, it's under my purview because I put this staff together. You put the players together. He reinforced that later. He said at the end of the day, it stops with me. But okay then, Jerry, if that be the case, you ain't gonna blame anything on the players. So no part of you losing the game had anything to do with the players. It's all the coaches. Because that's what Jerry would have you to believe. Jerry, you got to take some culpability too, because you put this thing together now. Maybe you didn't put it together as well as you thought. But see, this Skip, that's what he does, Skip. You know what I'm saying? I put the coaches together. I signed Zeke. I got Dak. I got Jalen Smith. Got all these linemen tied up. I'm done with it. See, he wants all that credit. Give me all the credit when things are going good. Well, I don't want none of that. That's Jason Garrett. Got our coach. Skip, he said it in April. You already expect when you go to New England, we going to get our coach. Man, I don't know, Skip. I might have felt some kind of way. If you'd told me before I take this job,
well, sure.
We'll already know he ain't going to be Stephen A. Whoa, Skip. How am I supposed to feel about that? So how did Jason Garrett supposed to feel about that, Skip? You already told him, man, before he even set foot in Foxborough. Oh, he getting not coached.
That's not a good feeling.
Come on, Jerry. But like I said, Skip, he is so reactionary. His thought process so free, of a fan. Skip, you've been around this game too much. I mean, you've seen coaches and they're like, look, we just go back to work. We just got the things we got to correct. We're going to be okay. Especially owners. But Jerry rides the roller coaster. He's way, way high when we win. Oh, Skip, we going to Super first 3-0. Hey, he said it's the best team I've been around since the mid-'90s. His Super Bowl caliber team. We had at the top. We discussed that, Skip. Like, whoa, wait a minute, Jerry. You got the winners 3 games into the season. You talking about that 90s team? No. But he's venting, and Jerry very few owners get an opportunity to vent because they don't have radio shows. They don't have TV shows. They might vent to a family member. They might vent to their wives. Or they might vent to the coaches and general managers behind closed doors. But Jerry happens to be the owner and the general manager, so he gets to vent twice. And normally the person that feels that vent or that wrath is who, Skip? The low-hanging fruit, Jason Garrett.
So I just heard a very different Jerry Jones than you heard. I've known him for a long time. I spent literally thousands of hours around him as I wrote 3 books on the Cowboys, so I know his thought patterns pretty well, and I know his speech patterns pretty well. This was a different Jerry. This is really good news for anybody who wants Jason Garrett out, and I'm the leader of that fan club and have been for about 4 years now.
Yes, you've been trumpeting it.
I have, but I agree with you. Usually right after a game, we get an over-emotional, happy, sad, fansy Jerry Jones. This was different. This was an angry general manager speaking. And I think we got that right after the game Sunday night.
Yes, you did.
Different mode of criticism where he was ready to lash out at Jason Garrett and the whole coaching staff. And he was asked point blank once again on his radio show, would you consider an in-season change? And he was a no, period, but then with a qualifier or a disqualifier because he said, look, I put this whole team together. I chose all those coaches. I helped choose all those players, and I've paid all those players.
Yeah, he did.
And now the buck stops with me.
Right.
So he, after he said no, period, then reopened the door to, yeah, I'm highly critical, he said.
That's going to be my decision.
Okay, so I slept on this one night, and I've thought hard about it, and I know what I would have done, maybe over-emotionally out of anger right after the game. I would have said enough is enough, because I do believe this team is still loaded.
Yeah.
This team has underperformed all year too long. This team has now fallen to 6-5. This team is way better than 6-5. It's way better than Jason Garrett. I still believe that he mostly has gone along for some good rides. I believe they're winning in spite of him. So I know what I would have done. I would have just plunged the way Jerry plunged in the oil fields for years, and I would have elevated Chris Richard to the head coach and parted ways with Jason Garrett, hoping it would spark, it would detonate my locker room and my team, which is on hair trigger to make a run through an NFC that I still believe is pretty wide open to win. And they still are in very good position with a game lead in the division to at least make the Super Bowl tournament. And a lot of times, all you need to do is make the tournament.
Right.
If you just get one of the slots,
Right.
you're good if you detonate, if you take off at the end of the season, if you get hot. We've seen those road wildcard teams, and this team would be obviously get one home playoff game. But we've seen teams take off unexpectedly over the last 4 or 5 games. So to me, I love Chris Richard. I got a deep feeling, just a gut feeling, that he would be a better head coach than a coordinator. Well, he co-coordinates now with Rod Marinelli.
Right.
So it's not like you'd leave a gaping hole in the staff.
Right.
No, Rod Marinelli would just take over, and I'm sure Chris Richard would continue to coach the defense.
But you said after the game, had it been you, that you probably would have fired Jason Garrett because of the emotion. But isn't that what they ask players, to take 30 minutes to calm down after an emotional loss?
Yeah, I'm talking about if I slept on it to Monday morning.
Oh, so you'd fired him the next morning?
Yes, I would have fired him the next morning. And I realize it's a short week, and that could be a good thing, where you just throw your team onto the field and hope that instead of sinking, you swim against the Buffalo Bills. And this is not an easy test because Buffalo is pretty good.
Buffalo is very good.
Yep.
But, Skip, don't you want your owner, even after a great victory or a tough letdown of a loss, don't you want him to take time? That was just raw. Jerry just stepped to the mic and just spewed his heart. Skip, he was thinking about this. When I get that, this I'm gonna say this. Coming from the owner's box until he walked into where the media was and started talking, this had been on his mind. He's seething as he's sitting there in that box watching his team, and he's like, my team is better than them. My team, my quarterback, my running back, my offensive line, my this, my that, my this, my that. Everything is better except the coaches. And we're losing because of coaching. He's thinking that. It came out as soon as he got to the mic.
Right. Remember, this team has not lost a 45-6 game.
Right.
It's lost narrowly.
Right.
5 times.
Right.
And Green Bay, you can say, well, you fell behind 31-3, but at least they got back in the game and came within a botched field goal of having an onside kick.
Well, see, the thing is that Jerry also looks at, he's like, when we keep losing these close games, that's coaching. Skip, we get blown out. Maybe we're not at the talent level that we think we are, but we keep losing these close games. Well, how does one team, Seattle, win all these close games? We lose all these close games.
Last year, I must admit, this team, my team, won a bunch of close games.
Yes.
This team, they're not getting over the hump or the edge. They're not getting there. They're not making the play. You can say it's the quarterback's fault, or you can say it's just the psyche of the team. But my team in 11 games has fallen behind 8 times.
Right. That's not good.
That's no good.
No.
So you're not quite ready to play. One time they came out ready to rock, and it was after Dougie P, old Dougie Prediction said, I vow we're going down there and we're going to kick their ass. Okay, fine. It took that external motivation. So something is missing here for a loaded football team to suddenly take off. Well, again, I got a rule I call the 24-hour rule. This is just in my life. If I have a fight with Ernestine, I'm going to give it 24 hours. And if I wake up the next morning and I'm still mad, then we're going to have a long talk about it.
Right.
If I'm not, like if I just wake up and I think, oh, come on, that's just silly. I can't even remember what started the fight. What were we arguing about?
Right.
If I have a big issue here at work, I just do 24 hours. And then if I wake up and say, oh, come on, it's nothing. Go to the next day. Let's go. If Jerry Jones woke up this morning or yesterday morning, 24 hours later and said, you know what, I'm just as angry as I was. Maybe I'm more angry, because he sounded still angry in this radio interview.
Is that what happened with Jimmy? He went to bed angry and woke up and fired the next day, or he was just angry all along and said, forget it, you out?
That was the 5-minute rule.
Yeah,
because
I think that was
it took
a
5 minutes
rule
for him to walk out of that restaurant after he proposed a toast and Jimmy refused to lift his glass. This is after they'd won their second straight Super Bowl. To the Cowboys, that was the proposed toast, to a table full of assistant coaches, including our Dave Wanstead, Norv Turner, and others. And he proposed a toast, and at the far end of the table was Jimmy Johnson, who sat with his arms folded.
Harsh.
So, because
and just showed him up, and Jerry was standing.
I'm good.
Because Skip, you know how Jimmy is. Jimmy says, I'm the head coach, I run the show, I proposed the toast.
Correct.
And so that would be a problem.
Plus, they were having kind of a boys' night out at the.
Jay like to have a good time.
I know, and so he wanted to mix it up with his coaches, and Jimmy's like, "You're not one of us. You're not. You don't belong here."
Right.
Okay, that was it. 5 minutes, he fumed. He flew out of that restaurant, drove right back to the hotel. He walked in, saw 2 Dallas writers sitting at the lobby bar, and said, "Hey, you guys, come over here. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go fire Jimmy Johnson." What? You're going to go fire Jimmy Johnson?
Those 2 writers, were they like, are you messing with me? Is this
they
real?
Did. I believe one of them was Ed Werder and the other was Tim Kalishoff, if memory serves. And that was it. Yeah. And he did it. Yeah. He also suggested he just might go hire Barry Switzer to coach this team.
And he did
it.
Mm-hmm. But that was the thing, Skip. You mentioned last year, they winning all these one-score ball games. Where was the congratulatory that Jerry gave him?
Well, what do you have to do? As Shannon Sharpe reminds me, update your resume. Am I right?
They're in first place.
You better update.
They're in first place.
By default.
Oh, now
Is it not? 6 and 5 and you're in first place?
You told me yesterday it didn't matter. You're still in first place. That's what you told me.
I have seen enough of Jason Garrett. Nice guy, but as they used to say in baseball, Leo DeRocher once said, nice guys finish last.
We go to the Giants, win a Super Bowl. You're going to be hurt.
All right, well, you know what? God bless, good luck, see you down the line. We'll see you twice a year. Right?
Well, he come back with Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Dak Prescott, Danny Dimes. I think I'll be good with Dak.
You ain't got no catchy nickname. You need to catch a nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny Dimes.
You know what? Dak is a nickname in and of itself to me.
Oh, as long as he don't play in the rain.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't stand the rain.
Yeah. You spell it, it's Rain Dakota Prescott, but it's R-E-I-G-N, not R-A-I-N.
Well, they ended in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Yeah, his reign, because it was raining, it ended in Foxborough.
Yeah,
well, I hear between the lines, wheels are turning.
Ain't nobody, he ain't going
and
nowhere.
Jason Garrett is barely hanging on.
He might be out after the end of the season, but they're not going to fire him during the season.
What about Thanksgiving Day? What if they do not show up?
Yeah.
You know what? It's possible, and it's also possible that would be the end of it, but it might be too much too late on that one.
But the spotlight of that day.
Jason better hope that who's ever preparing Thanksgiving dinner don't mess it up.
Yep.
You mess up Jerry's Thanksgiving dinner.
We don't want to do that.
Remember,
be good,
this is
Jason.
annually one of the top-rated games of the year, if not the top-rated game.
I wonder what that game did Sunday, the ratings.
Yeah, I hadn't
It was
seen
up
it.
there. I heard last night. Now I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was
It
way
had to
up
be
there.
like 28, 30 million people watch that
But
game.
even given the weather and, you
Yeah.
know, obviously low scoring,
Yeah.
probably impacted.
But you got those two teams, and like, who you rooting for? Because there's a large segment.
I
We hate
agree.
the Cowboys, large segment.
It's love-hate.
Yep.
Everyone had something there.
Yep.
Another team that some around here like to love or hate are the Lakers. And this past weekend, the Lakers said they plan to contact the league office after LeBron had 0 free throw attempts on 27 shots against the Grizzlies. Last night, though, it seemed like the message was received loud and clear. LeBron had 8 free throw attempts in the Lakers' 114-104 win over Skip Spurs, but the King only made 3 of them, Shannon, dropping his average to 68% for the season. So, Shannon, I start with you. What do you make of all this?
My 75 not looking real
No,
good right now.
not so
you know
good.
What I mean? You know, hey. But the free throw percentage don't really start till after Christmas. So I'm looking to make
Since when? Just warming up for the
I think
Christmas
we
season?
gonna- I think-
Yeah, I
I think
haven't
I hadn't heard that one before.
We shoot by 90%.
Really?
About 2 months, we
But
get
maybe that you just get to wipe it all out at Christmas and start over.
Maybe we should actually on the bet.
Skip, the Lakers should have complained. He's driving to the basket at 13 times a game, which is 6th most among forwards. And James Harden, Beard, and Giannis are both shooting 2 times the free throw. Skip, do you know Rudy Gobert is attempting more free throws than LeBron James? Let that sink in for just a second. And now, when have we ever known Rudy Gobert to be Shaq? That he just drop stepping and flushing on people and fouling, doing things like that.
Yeah.
No, Rudy Gobert is attempting more free throws. Kevin Love is attempting more free throws. Come on, Skip. Now you know better. The man driving 13 times a game. He went to the other night 16 times, and not one time the man really. But you say don't worry about it. Skip, you saw them 3 last night. How you like that, Skip Bayless? The 3s. Shot one from Brownsville, another from Amarillo.
Yep.
Yeah, 33-14. I like this LeBron. He was ultra aggressive, 19 points, 2 assists. Then he came back the second half, Skip, dealing. Fourth quarter when they need that thing closing, 12 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds.
He had a big fourth quarter.
Oh, he's the closer,
He
right?
made 3 threes.
Oh.
They didn't need to close. They just blew them out.
No Spurs.
It was
no.
not
Was that one
close.
hard to watch for you?
No, because I knew what was coming.
Okay.
This team is awful.
But I tell you what I didn't know you said no Spurs, no. But I did see your tweet. Somebody sent it to me the other night. LeBron James, drive the ball to the basket. Skip, he's like, why would I drive the ball to the basket when they haven't given me a call all night, knowing The likelihood of them bailing me out if I drive to the basket is not very good, even though he did give them a lead that they never relinquished by driving the ball to the basket. You know what, Skip? I don't like to get in semantics and technicalities, but I'm just wanting you to know that I was watching and people were sending me your foolishness.
Who's sending his
just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, Skip, this is ridiculous. The man is driving. He's on a pace to shoot a career low. 5.5 free throw attempts per game for the guy that lives in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. But did you see the athleticism last night? Go by, flush. Go by Rudy Gay, flush.
DeMar DeRozan, no chance.
DeMar
DeRozan, no chance.
Oh, and then DeRozan tried to lay that ball up at the end. Chase down. I keep telling you.
That was DeJounte, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that was DeJounte?
Yeah.
Oh, he must have been on the minutes restriction.
Because LeBron would never pick on somebody's own size.
What do you mean?
Chase down, he's got to pick on the 6'3" guy.
What about Iggy?
Yeah.
Was Iggy his side?
He had help on that one.
And what about your guy, Tiago Splitter?
Yeah.
You remember Splitter trying to jump on him?
Not a chase down, but whatever.
Faced him up.
Yeah, he faced him up, and Tiago can't get his feet
Don't
up
do that,
more than I can.
He's a 7-foot Brazilian.
Yeah, he has a 1-inch vertical.
And LeBron said, no, not on my watch.
Not very generous.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Way to go.
But Skip, you know he should be shooting.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to say this again for all those people out there who think I hate LeBron James. I always call him the best passer in basketball. I always call him the most durable superstar I've ever seen. And I always call him the greatest driver of the basketball we have ever seen, period, end of story. And he continues to be the best passer in the game. And he continues at age, what is he now, 30?
About to be 35, December 30th.
Yep, almost 35. He continues to be the best driver of the basketball, the best basket attacker in the game today, right here, right now.
Right.
So it's hard on my eyes to watch him do what he does, as he did at the end of the Memphis game, because what he's doing is he's running from the free throw line. I've criticized him for this since 2004 on Cold Pizza, whatever his first or second year was. It was my first year on
03.
Yeah, so it was his second year in the league. My first year on Cold Pizza was 04, and I began to say, LeBron, you're better than this. Don't run from the free throw line at the end of the game because they can't keep you from the basket. They can only foul you. So what is happening is the referees are third-level thinkers. They know everything that's going on out there, and they're seeing between the lines. They have lost respect for LeBron because he's such a poor free throw shooter.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a poor free throw shooter for being such a superstar. You're making the case he's the GOAT, and he can't even make 70%. Why does James Harden get so many calls? Because they respect him as a foul shooter.
Skip,
that's what's happening.
But that's not how it's supposed to be.
Okay, well, it's how this game is managed by these referees. They will pay homage to you if you go convert at the free throw line. James Harden is a 90% free throw shooter. There are nights when I'm in awe that he'll go up there 18 straight times and make 18 free throws. The referees see that, and they'll give him calls he does not deserve. The referees see LeBron clank, and by the way, we got to see these two at the...
my goodness, you need to stop.
Come on. This is in the third quarter last night, but LeBron, this is just pathetic free throw shooting. Well, watch.
Nope.
Okay, the first one goes up, a little shaky-handed. He almost airballs it. It ticks the front of the rim.
You know what? You got to stop.
The second one is so far offline that it hits the far side of the rim and caroms hard right. What are you doing? You had a whole offseason to improve that. I don't know what's going on in his head, but here's the point. I got to finish this. So Friday night at Memphis, what is the situation? They're up 2 with 55 seconds left. Well, this is the classic case of, again, you haven't gone to the line all night.
Right.
But if you drive it in this moment right now, Memphis has no choice but to hammer foul you, to mug you at the rim. They are going to hack foul you. And what does he do? He just launches a deep three because he knows that the fawning media will protect him because it's such a deep three. Oh, that was a high degree of difficulty, LeBron. We can't blame you for taking that shot. Yeah, you can, because go to the free throw line. If you go and make 2 free throws, the game is over because you're going to put your team up 4.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. he had driven the ball 16 times. It takes 16 shots in the paint.
Okay,
and he had got 0.
The last minute.
He had got 0 calls. Now you tell me they're going to swallow their whistles. Why would they call it now all of a sudden when they have...
Because, trust me, you're going to have no choice because Memphis has no choice but to tackle him at the rim. Trust me, they're going to tackle him. 2 guys are going to tackle LeBron.
Okay, which is it? Now, you said that I can imagine when Dr. Naismith was coming up with the game of basketball, he didn't say, well, if the guy that's fouling the guy is smaller than he is, you shouldn't call it. And if the guy's a poor free throw shooter. Imagine in football, Skip, they don't call pass interference on first or second down because you weren't going to convert on third down anyway, so what the hell? We're going to just get you out the field anyway.
This is basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
This is how they think.
No, they don't think like that. That's how you think.
No, that's how they think.
That's why you shouldn't be. That's why you're not a referee anyway. Yeah. But anyway, Skip, stop it. I mean, you try to find the least little thing.
This isn't the least little thing. And then he comes down in the Memphis game with 6.6 seconds left, and they're up 1. This is classic. Just go to the free throw line and ensure overtime by making your 2 free throws. What does he do? He pulls up, if we could see that, from deep 3 again, and launches another one. I can always tell his body language. He's up. It's so deep, and he missed it so badly, and then they get the rebound, kicked it out of bounds.
We got the rebound, because that was AD put it back. Put us up 4.
Oh, that's the first one, I think. That's the second one that went out of bounds. Okay, so this is the last.
This is the first one.
That's the AD putback. So he's lucky on that one that AD just swooped down the lane and put it back. And on the second one, Memphis had a late chance with 1.8 to inbound the ball, but they were out of timeout, so they couldn't advance it. And the inbounds pass was awful off somebody's leg, and that was the end of the game. My point is, you got 2 chances that if you're a superstar, you just go to the free throw line. What did we see Anthony Davis do at Oklahoma City the next night?
Yeah, he made like 5 in a row.
He made 4 in a row in the last in 11.8 seconds.
Yeah.
He twice went to the line and just iced them, man. They were swishes,
but look,
all 4 of them.
All I'm saying, we need to go to the free throw line more, but I mean, look, take credit, Skip. He gave you guys kudos. He said the Spurs are the reason that I'm shooting this 3 ball like I'm shooting it. Because when we played in the finals in 07, they went under everything, and I wasn't confident enough. I wasn't comfortable enough to step up and drain it. Now, look at it.
Let's not just go to 07. Let's go to 13 and 14. What is my lingering memory of both of those series? The man LeBron loves, Greg Popovich. He would stand up over on the sideline and wave to Danny Green or whoever, Boris Diaw, Kawhi. He would wave them off LeBron like, he'd do this, like, get off him, make him shoot it. They dared LeBron to shoot threes. They dared him, and he did take that one in Game 6 to tie, and he bricked it. Chris Bosh long
But he hit 3 of them in the fourth quarter.
Allen, boom.
Okay, what about that Game 7?
There it is. That's LeBron, LeBrick, Chris Bosh, I don't know how he got the rebound.
I do. Bang!
Greatest clutch shot I've ever seen.
Every time you see it, too.
Ever seen. Got his feet back behind
Pure as the driven snow. Look at all that white. Look at all that white up
there. Fans. I love it.
I ran down to my son's bedroom. He was sick. He was distraught.
Yep.
I almost broke his bed down, but I thought about it. I paid for that bed. That's my bed. If it was his, I definitely would have broken it down.
So I will give you this. LeBron has somewhat improved as a three-point shooter.
What you mean, somewhat?
He's 35% this year. It's okay. He was 29% for much of the year.
Would it be fair to have LeBron James to be able to be 6'8.5", 245, 250 pounds, could post, could drive the ball, and shoot threes like Steph Curry? How fair would that be?
Well, is he that guy or not? I don't know.
Michael Jordan couldn't shoot three like Steph Curry.
They didn't try.
Was the three-point line in? They brought the three-point line in, Jenny, before you was born in 1979.
You know what they thought of it?
Yeah.
They thought it was a circus shot.
Yeah.
Like,
and guess what? And Michael Jordan wasn't good at the circus, so he couldn't make it.
He would have
my
guy. Tried, yeah.
You see what my guy doing last night? Kobe Show got perfected it. Yeah. Kobe got good at it.
Every once in a while, your guy gets a hot hand, and then there'll be times and long stretches where he'll have his 0 for 9s.
I hate to break it to you. He just had the hot hand for 17 years. He just had the hot hand for 17.
Well, why doesn't it translate to the 15-foot shot standing by yourself at the free throw line?
I don't know.
It's just a little tiny set shot.
33-14.
Yeah.
Can I interest you in that?
Well, against the Spurs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not the Spurs.
Yeah.
And the MVP chant?
Oh, you heard that? MVP.
You heard it loud and clear.
MVP. Yeah, it's going. Skip, I don't know if you noticed this, but by Sunday, you'll need to slide 5 cases to my way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. For the record, I didn't finish about the game at Memphis. LeBron in the fourth quarter, that game was 0 for 4 from 3, just for the record.
Okay.
But hold on, who won the game?
Well, they hung on. They've been hanging on to a lot of games.
They've been hanging on.
Yeah.
That wasn't no hang on last night. And we got the Pelicans.
What was the turning point shot of the whole year for the Los Angeles Lakers? It came on that Friday night. I was in Oklahoma City, and I got back just in time to see old Danny Green. When LeBron went to the basket, I said, "What are you doing? You're down 3."
So and I.
Yeah.
Skip, it's the art of misdirection.
Oh, is it?
That's what a magician does. He directs your attention one way while pulling the rabbit out of the hat over here or the flower out of the coat over there.
No.
So we came to the basket. They're like, LeBron, you gonna dunk? They looking at LeBron, see what type of dunk.
What actually happened on that play was the jersey got pulled out of the pants by Dwight Howard on Seth Curry. That's what happened on that play.
But hold on. But you said it wasn't a set play. So why would Dwight Howard do that? Because he knew Seth Curry had Danny Green, and that shot had gone set up in the corner.
Did LeBron make that 3?
No,
Danny Green did.
He passed it. You see, Skip, the pass was important because you got to put it right to it where he needs it.
He did do that out of desperation, like, what am I doing?
Oh, my goodness. You know what?
Wow, saved by the bell.
It was saved by the bell.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Lakers game Sunday, so if I could borrow a jersey.
I thought about going to the game. I said, just my look, they'll show on me and Skip be looking at the stand like, oh, you're not watching the games.
I mean, you got to go.
I'm like, hey.
Have you gone yet?
I'm going to tell you, don't film me. I'm not supposed to be here.
Oh, okay. You don't really go, hidden in the crowd, Shannon. I don't think you could pull that off.
I'm going to have to go up in one of the most suites.
All right.
So you can't
let
see
us
me,
know.
Skip.
I know this was a segment ago, guys, but I looked it up, and it turns out the Cowboys-Patriots game Sunday, the most-watched game on Fox since 1996.
Whew, wow.
1996.
Told you.
Way to go, Fox.
Imagine if we had a Super Bowl.
Way to go.
Like that. Just saying.
Yep.
All the
Just
people
saying.
watch the Cowboys catch an L. For me to serve them that old child
Yeah,
L.
they all did.
That's what they call me.
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are both on pace to make the playoffs again, but neither has looked like their former MVP selves all season. Rodgers threw for a season-low 104 yards with a career-worst 3.2 yards per attempt against the Niners. And meanwhile, Brady completed a season-worst 45% of his passes on Sunday and is currently ranked 24th in completion percentage, sandwiched between Mitch Trubisky and Ryan Fitzpatrick. That is an interesting two to be between. So, Skip, who would you take right now, Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
Is this
Not
for
a
real?
trick question.
I mean, are we
It is
actually
real.
asking
We
this?
are.
Whatever.
Give me Tom Brady, and it ain't even close, because Tom Brady's production and performance this year has been once again underrated and over-criticized, while Aaron Rodgers, the LeBron James of the NFL, his performance this year has been way overrated and under-criticized. And, it's funny because you keep telling me how much Tom Brady is in decline. No great quarterback, quote unquote, has been more in decline, steadily declining over the last 4 years than Aaron Rodgers. His QBR has dipped each of the last 4 years, including this one. His completion percentage has fallen each of the last 3 years. And now he's plummeted all the way to 18th in QBR, and
Your guy's 14th.
yeah, okay. So I think it's my turn.
Oh, my bad. You're right. My bad. I don't even know why I spoke out of turn. I apologize.
Come on, Shannon.
I raised my hand next.
So all I know is that with his completion percentage plunging each of the last 3 years, Aaron Rodgers has missed the playoffs each of the last 2 years. Tom Brady obviously has been to 3 straight Super Bowls, and he won 2 of those, and in the one he lost, he threw for an all-time playoff record 505 yards. But let's just stay this year. Let's stay current. Tom Brady leads the National Football League in completions right now. He's number 1. And he is also number 1 in catchable passes. Aaron Rodgers is 9th in completions and 10th in catchable passes. Tom Brady has been doing this while throwing to an all-time record for him in his career, 17 different receivers this year, and obviously he does not have a go-to receiver. He does not have a Devontae. He doesn't even have a Jimmy Graham because he doesn't even have a Gronk anymore. So that brings me to QBR. You said it's still edged to Tom Brady. It's 14th to 8th to 19th, actually. But the point is, if Tom Brady had the disastrous QBRs that Aaron Rodgers had at Chargers 3 weeks ago and then this past Sunday night at Niners, I would never hear the end of it because they were nightmares. They're single-digit QBRs for an Aaron Rodgers who just continues to fade away. He's a myth right now. And I'm going to remind everybody, his one and only Super Bowl followed the 2010 season. We're almost to 2020. So in that period of time, Tom Brady, who obviously has 6 wins and 9 Super Bowls, has had 5 Super Bowls that he's been to, and he's won 3 of them since Aaron Rodgers' one and only Super Bowl. So I'll take him for career, obviously, but I'll take him right now because under the circumstances, given the degree of difficulty, Tom Brady at 10-1, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
He will get nothing but better, and Aaron Rodgers is getting worse.
And what you're doing is overvaluing. We're talking about Tom Brady. What you're doing is overvaluing his win-loss record because he's playing on a much better football team than what the Packers have. Now, you gave me all these stats, but completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdown to interception ratio, who's better? Now, last year, Jenny, every week we come out here.
Yeah.
And Skip Bayless would tell everybody, fans at home and people at home, I want you guys to chime in too. And y'all can attest to this. Skip Bayless said Aaron Rodgers is going to shatter the throwaway record. Skip Bayless, if you don't mind me asking, who's leading the NFL currently in throwaways?
I didn't even bring it up. I didn't bring up throwaway.
I want you to bring it up now.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up last year when Aaron Rodgers led the league.
Well, no, he shattered his own record.
I want to know who's currently leading the league in throwaways.
Okay.
No, okay, ain't nobody's name.
I don't know.
You do know.
It's your turn.
No.
No, it's your turn. I'm not going to answer. If I answer, you'll say, I'm reclaiming my time. You answer it.
No, I will give you the time. The floor is yours. Who's leading the league in throwaways?
Who leads the league in completions and catchable passes?
Skip,
Help me out.
Skip, I just want you to answer my question. If you answer my question, I can answer yours.
Did you watch Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night? You gave me the floor back. I need you to. Can you defend that performance? Can you defend Aaron Rodgers at Chargers?
Since Skip will not answer the question, it's painfully and obvious that the answer is Tom Brady. The very thing that you criticize. So what we're seeing, if Tom Brady doesn't see a guy wide open, he's throwing the ball away. That's what you said about Aaron Rodgers last year, Skip.
He had Devontae. He had Jimmy Graham.
Devontae was out 5 games.
He had Valdez-Scantling.
Undrafted free agent.
Okay. Tom Brady has been throwing to little Gunnar Olszewski. He's thrown to Jacoby Myers on Sunday. That was his second most targeted receiver. Jacoby Myers is an undrafted free agent rookie out of North Carolina State.
Geronimo Allison.
Are you kidding me?
Skip.
Geronimo's proven to be pretty good. He can get behind people.
Yep.
Who's got the better receiver core? Help me out. Right here, right now.
Yep.
Tom Brady is doing it with mirrors.
He was throwing to 2 undrafted free agents and a 5th-round draft pick, which is the equivalent of what Tom Brady's throwing to because when Devontae Adams was out, he didn't have that number 1. You know that, I know that. But see,
he's back.
The thing that
Tom Brady has not had a Devontae.
He just got Julian Edelman, who just happened to be Super Bowl MVP.
And who else? Help me out.
Whoa, that's somebody.
Who would you rather have, Devontae or Julian?
No.
You tell me Julian shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame conversation.
We're not talking about the Hall of Fame. We're talking about Julian Edelman, his qualifications or credentials for the Hall of Fame at another date and time. But right now, this is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. And it's very apparent. So you mean to tell, so let me ask you a question. I'm going to switch roles. Tom Brady goes to Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers goes to New England. The record, how
it'd be a disaster because there's no way Aaron Rodgers would put up with Bill Belichick. And there is a definite way Tom Brady would change the whole culture from a diva, me first, blame deflecting culture led by Aaron Rodgers to we are one. That's what Tom Brady
now what we're starting to see.
I would love Tom Brady.
What we're starting to see from your guy, Tom Brady, as his completion percentage started to dip, he starts to throwing the ball shorter, and his touchdown to interception ratio is ticking up, and he's throwing the ball away. All the things that you criticize, you said Aaron Rodgers.
Wait, air distance yards, Tom's ahead of Aaron. That's interesting.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Skip.
How about big pass plays so far this year? I'm talking about this year. Tom Brady tied for second, Aaron's 12th. Interesting. I think I'm taking Tom Brady.
I just want to know why the guy throwing the ball away all this time. I want to know why is he throwing the ball? Is he leading the
Two
NFL?
words for you. Gunnar Olszewski.
Oh.
That's all you need to know.
Don't do that.
Gunnar.
Don't do that.
Well,
don't do that.
Is Aaron throwing to Gunnar Olszewski?
It's going to Valdez.
Who's in the lineup?
Valdez Scanlon.
Yeah.
And those guys were Jermon, I think is his name. He's an undrafted free agent.
Oh, really?
The guy that Aaron went to the head coach and says, I need this guy. Give him to me and I'll make something out of it.
Do you think Tom Brady would have missed a wide open receiver just standing alone in the flat on the final play against the Eagles?
He missed Wes Welker in the Super Bowl. Wide open.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
You got
me
me
the
on
Super
that
Bowl.
one. Yeah. Did he miss him?
Missed it.
I'm talking about failed to see him. Aaron Rodgers didn't even see this.
Yeah.
He threw it to Valdez Scantling after the Eagles blew the coverage. Did you see the kid from North Dakota State over here? You see him?
You blew a guy.
He's wide open.
The guy was wide open in the Super Bowl.
You lost the game on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Wasn't frozen.
I know, but it's the legendary tundra. You lost a home game to the Beagles. To the Beagles. You lost to them. They're the Beagles now.
Funny.
They've turned into the Beagles.
But you're going to find out.
Yeah.
You're going to find out.
You lost that
I don't know,
game, and you're
Shannon.
telling me you'd take him over Tom Brady?
Yes.
Tom Brady would have thrown an underhand to that
Well,
kid.
you should have threw that one to Wes Welker, and then he'd have 7 Super Bowls.
Wait a second. Shannon Sharpe told me that was a catchable ball. Am I right?
Yeah, if you throw it.
Walker?
Oh,
If
no,
you throw it right.
No, you said Shannon Sharpe would have put that in his back pocket.
Like you told me.
Am I right?
Wes Welker ain't.
Am I right?
All I'm saying, he missed
At
the
least
throw.
he saw him open and he threw him a pass that was
Which
a little
makes
bit...
it worse because you saw him and still missed it.
No. This was the worst.
If Aaron had seen him, do you think Aaron Rodgers would have missed him?
You know what? Aaron Rodgers is a myth. He is in decline, and you will not acknowledge.
No, you will not acknowledge it because you won't even acknowledge who's leading the league in throwaways.
Oh,
when
well,
you
that-
know it to be true.
Okay, but who cares about that?
Oh, you can. Now you don't care about that.
Well,
now all last year,
I know,
you
but
beat
I
them.
canceled it with all the other stats.
No, you don't know. You can't cancel.
Yes, well, I just did.
No, you didn't.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Rodgers, better completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdown interception ratio. And your guy got more throwaways. Your guy just happened to be on a better team, Skip. That's it. But he's going along for a great ride. Skip, it's kind of like, you know, if you're in a nice car, you're in a Maybach or you're in a Ferrari, nobody really cares what you look like in there. You're
Shannon
going for a
Sharpe.
great
They
ride.
do.
No, they don't.
They might care a
they
little
don't.
bit.
No,
You
they
don't
don't.
care at all?
Nope.
You have been wrong about Tom Brady 3 straight
He's going
years
along
saying,
for a
this
great
is it,
ride.
this is it, this is it.
He's going
And
along.
he is still playing at a supremely high level with a high degree of
Skip,
difficulty.
He's going along.
Yeah.
Skip, your grandfather used to say, boy,
Yeah.
when a man point that knuckle like Tom
Yeah.
Brady head, Tom Brady's going along for a great ride, Jenny. Everybody knows it except you.
Yep.
You know it, but you don't want to admit it because then it was like, oh my goodness, I had to say what I didn't think I'd have to say. That Tom Brady, the Tom Brady that I know and love is no more.
You know, I want Tom Brady going forward because do I trust Aaron Rodgers even if they somehow make the playoffs? Because since that one little Super Bowl run that he had almost 10 years ago, he's 5-6 in the postseason. And the 5 came against Joe Webb of the Vikings, and then one's against Kirk Cousins, and then there was the Dez Catch game, and then there was the Giants boat trip victory.
Aaron Rodgers
and
said, if you gave me,
Mason
Coach,
Crossbar.
if you gave me 13 top 10 defenses like Tom Brady's had, ain't no telling what I'd have.
I thought he was
But see,
that guy.
you didn't say anything.
In decline. Aaron Rodgers in decline. You got to acknowledge. In
Hold
decline.
on. Think about this. Do you remember when the Packers played the Cardinals and they gave up 51? Aaron Rodgers threw for 457 and caught an L? Do you remember when Eli Manning went up there and hung 37 on him in his building? Oh, but do you want to talk about that? Oh, so we're not going to mention anything about Tom Brady got a defense that's stout all the time with the exception of one game, and you go back to that.
With the exception of one game, it was 41 by
How do you win the Super Bowl in which you throw one? How do you win a play? How do you go undefeated in the playoffs in which you only throw one touchdown pass the entire playoff run? How is that possible when you got an outstanding defense?
Well, that was its first year start.
What they got to do with me?
Yeah.
They got to do with me. That doesn't help your argument.
Aaron Rodgers' career is overrated, and this year
No,
is way
don't do this,
overrated.
Skip. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's
Did
so
you like
unfair.
him Sunday night?
He did not look good.
Did you like Tom Brady?
49ers.
Did you like Tom Brady?
Did you like Aaron Rodgers? Yes, I loved Tom Brady on Sunday night.
He happened to win.
He won the game.
Skip Bayless. All he had to do is not long as he didn't turn the ball over. Because the Cowboys, because it just so happened he was playing somebody that played worse than he did on Sunday. I ain't going to bring his name up, but you know who it is.
You know who's going to the Super Bowl again?
I know who ain't going to the Super Bowl.
It's hard to,
I know who ain't. I don't know who is definitively.
Yeah,
but I know who
ain't.
Isn't.
Aaron Rodgers.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't know that to be true.
Well, I do.
No.
Want to bet on that?
I know who won't
I'll
be.
bet you 5 cases right now Aaron Rodgers doesn't
I'm about to get my 5 cases from you on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, LeBron James. I told you what was going to happen.
Well, I'm up to 43.
You about to be down to 38.
All right.
How happy are you about that? Like, just try to hold it in.
Yeah.
No mercy. And Lamar Jackson put on a show in the Coliseum during his Monday Night Football debut as the Ravens dismantled the Rams 45-6. Lamar tied his career high with 5 touchdown passes and also added 95 yards on the ground. And after the game, Lamar downplayed his personal numbers and gave the team some props, saying, quote, "We're clicking on all cylinders right now. It's okay, but we are trying to win the Super Bowl." Well, there you go. We got Super Bowl champ and Fox Sports college football analyst Reggie Bush here with us today. When you think about what Lamar is doing, has he locked up MVP in your eyes?
I wouldn't say he's locked it up, but I think he's distanced himself from Russell Wilson after what I saw last night. I think much like everybody else, we're trying to find ways to describe it. We're trying to find people to compare him to. Obviously, Michael Vick maybe is one of the most natural comparisons. But even Michael Vick wasn't doing this, right? Even Michael Vick, I've never seen an athlete like Lamar Jackson do what he's doing, and none of us have, right? 3rd down conversions, I think it was 100% last night at one point, 3rd down conversions. He can throw the deep ball, he's accurate, but it's also his leadership as well, because I was at the game last night, and I spent some time with Steve Bisciotti last night as well. And the one thing that he talked about was his leadership, but how he motivates the other guys on the other side of the football. So it's not just his offensive players that he's making better around him, right? Mark Ingram's playing well. Willie Snead is balling out. But the defense is getting excited on the sideline when he's making some of these plays. And that's what I saw last night as well. Some of the Rams' best players were getting ran over. You know, this is big boy football. This is smash mouth, old school football.
Well, a couple of times Eric Weddle.
And a couple times Eric Weddle, Jalen Ramsey, some of these guys missing tackles, getting ran over. And I saw the sidelines going crazy. The sidelines was going nuts. And that's the difference of this football team. It's in a passing league right now, you have to line up and play big boy football, smash mouth football. And not everybody can do that, can handle that for 60 minutes. And that's where I feel like you really separate the men from the boys, right?
So how long can Lamar survive playing this style of running and passing football?
And so that's the other thing that I thought about last night as I'm watching the game progress. There were some tackles where I felt like, man, if he could only just get down, right, and not take some of those tackles, because the one thing that we do know is it's not a matter of if you get got, it's a matter of when you get got. And there's a 100% injury rate in this league. So the only thing that I can see that can stop Lamar Jackson is injuries, and is himself.
And that's the thing, is that when you watch him last night, and the 50 men in boat, Reggie, that Skip and I talked about earlier, they don't always get an opportunity to watch because they have teams they have to cover themselves for the MVP. And so now they got an opportunity. They're in front of their TVs or computers, and they're watching. And it's like, there's no question about it. This is the MVP right now. You look at what he's done, the back-to-back 4 touchdown games with 50 yards rushing. No other quarterback has ever done that. The 3 perfect QBR, 99. He has the 3 highest graded QBR games in NFL this year. He has 2 perfect quarterback rated games this year. And you just look at him at what he's on, the total that he's on, a quarterback that's on pace to rush for over 1,200 yards while also throwing for over 30 touchdowns. So it just goes to show you, Skip, he's just not a runner of the football. He's a great thrower of the football, and I'm watching him as he's going through his mind and that he's changing arm angles without being second nature, Skip. And you see the progression. Normally last year, if he broke the line of scrimmage, he was straight ahead. Now he'll break the line of scrimmage and he'll slide left or right looking for someone to throw it to, and then he'll take off as no one's there. You see the evolution of this guy, and we played it earlier, Reggie. Last year against the Chargers, they booed him and wanted Joe Flacco to enter the game. Now they're yelling MVP. He's getting MVP chance when he goes to the opposing team stadium. So that just lets you know how hard he's worked on his craft and where he is now. And it just goes also, Skip, the greatest hire this year, you talk about, it's Greg Roman.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh hiring Greg Roman, who's the offensive coordinator, has been done light, and they keep advancing. And Reggie, you talk about playing big boy football. Everybody wants to run the football. But when you play the Ravens, you better bag your big boy pants. Wear 2 chin straps and put on all your pads. Because what they're going to do, they're going to smash you in the mouth. Yeah. And then when you hold in, Skip, they fake the ball in someone's belly, and now he's throwing the ball in these creases, and they're getting big plays. He's, man. Yeah, I think he's opened up a sizable lead in the MVP race. Now, if they play San Francisco on Sunday, he put together another game, Skip, like what he did against New England.
Against this,
it's his.
It's over.
Yeah. Well, they should just award it on the field.
It's over.
Just give it something right there on the
field. If he plays like he played against New England or plays like he played last night against San Francisco, it is over.
Yeah. I want to ask my man Reggie about this. I've been watching, covering, studying pro football for a long time. This young man, he's still a young man, is revolutionizing not just the quarterback position, but the way the game is being played. Yeah. Because you were a great running back. You were more halfback than running back to me. Yeah. You were make you miss, open field, speed. You dazzled. You were must-see TV at USC and then going on into New Orleans. And yet, right now, I'm seeing Lamar Jackson become the best running back in pro football. Seriously, you can have Dalvin, who's in a great year, and Zeke, and whoever else you want to throw up in there. Nobody is running stronger, running faster, shiftier, more powerfully than this man is running.
I would agree.
So now you took that, and you took a kid who was a pretty pathetic thrower of the football last year through the Chargers' loss to, I don't know if it's Greg Roman. I don't know. He talked to ESPN last night about the football was bigger than it was in college, and he just couldn't even throw a spiral last year. But he reinvented his throwing delivery. He is flicking missiles now. They are deadly accurate missiles, and he is in complete command of the offense. He's smart, he's perceptive, he's poised, and he is playing the quarterback position. He's throwing as deadly accurately as Drew Brees or anybody else you want to throw up in there. So the combination of best running back and deadliest thrower, I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, I think one of the words that you used was reinvented, right? He reinvented himself this offseason, and that's the one thing that a lot of guys don't do, right? Like you get the money and you just stay the same, but every year there is film on you. Every year guys are getting smarter, faster, stronger, and they're learning your tendencies.
Wow.
Right now, you can't learn Lamar Jackson's tendencies because he's doing so many different things, right? And to me, one of the most impressive throws that I saw last night was in the second half, they ran cover zero blitz, and he threw the slant route over the middle for a touchdown.
He did.
Now, for fans back home, cover zero blitz is the same blitz the Patriots ran against Jared Goff in the Super Bowl, and ended up in an interception and lost him that game. And so now his IQ is there, right? His football IQ is there.
I agree.
And he's athletic, right? He's aggressive when he's attacking, running down the field. And I agree with you. You're right. This is must-see TV. And for me, this is the only person I want to watch now. On Sundays, I want to see what Lamar Jackson is doing. I'm checking my phones, or I'm checking social media. I want to know what stats he's putting up, what crazy move he's made. Like, that's the thing that I think that now people are starting to witness, and you want more of it, right? You don't have you feel like you didn't get enough.
You mentioned about guys, the evolution of the game and how they evolve, and that's what the great ones do. Tom Brady's not the same quarterback in year 5 as he is now. He realized, Peyton Manning, all the greats, they realized they're getting tendencies. So what do I do? How do I reinvent myself to come back a new, improved version of myself? And I believe this: as he becomes get even more comfortable, becomes even more proficient at throwing the football, they will call less of these diagram runs. Now they're never going to say, "Hey, if you get in harm's way, don't worry about it, just throw the ball from the pocket," because his legs are too valuable. That's what makes him so dangerous. Because Skip, the field is so spread. Because he get a crease. He's unlike any quarterback that we've seen since Michael Vick. No quarterback has this kind of speed. So he gets a crease so the field is spread. Now you get Andrews, you get Hollywood Brown and Snead running the crease route. They're wide open because we're worried about him jumping out the window and being gone on us. But Skip, he's special.
So I want to drive home this point on degree of difficulty. Last night, this was Wade Phillips' defense featuring Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. The Rams gave 2 firsts and a 4th to get Jalen Ramsey. He will soon be the highest paid corner in pro football. Aaron Donald is hands down the best defensive player. You think he's the best player in all of football. So not only did Lamar Jackson take the ball 6 straight times and go score 6 straight touchdowns, including 7 of 7 third down conversions, he converted every time in the red zone, because the overall stats aren't sensational. He threw for 189 yards. He threw 5 touchdown passes where my quarterback, Dak Prescott, cannot get the ball in the end zone in the red zone because it's hard. My guy's just having a hard time. But the point is, to be able to pick a defense apart and throw 5 scoring passes in the red zone.
And he only have Amari.
Okay.
Just imagine if he had Amari.
Well, we didn't have Amari on Sunday.
Yeah, you did. He was out there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't see him.
What you call just had him on the wraps.
Did he? Yeah, I think he put him in his back pocket.
Yeah, Ogelmo.
He made some of the Rams' best players disappear last night. I ain't hear from Ty Gurley, Jared Goff, my boy Woods, Aaron Donald. We didn't hear from none of them.
Nobody.
They don't have a handful of possessions, right. If you run the ball for almost 300, you're not getting a whole lot of cracks, and it puts a lot of pressure on your offense because you know you're not getting many possessions.
He destroyed and toyed with the Los Angeles Rams here in the college.
Seeing it in person had to be fun for you.
No mercy.
Well, you may recognize our next guest from Key and Peele. Playing with Fire and Dolomite is my name, one of the funniest people working in Hollywood, the one and only Keegan-Michael Key. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure and honor to have you here.
Yes, it is a pleasure and honor to be here. Yes.
We've been looking forward to it.
So, born and raised in Detroit.
Born and raised, yes.
I hate to put you through this as a long-suffering Lion fan, but we need to get this out of the way.
Let's get this out of the way,
Because your quarterback, Matt Stafford, hurt at the moment, but still wants to play the rest of the year, continues to put up top 10, maybe even top 5 stats. And you have had to live with him for a long, long time because he puts up those numbers, except that one column at the end over there that says wins and losses. It never seems to equate to his overall stats.
I think, yes, this has been another sneaky year where the numbers were looking really, really good. And he also, the one thing that we have to look forward to, I can think of right now, is that we've got him and Marvin Jones Jr. and Kenny Golladay going through the next season. So I have that to look forward to. That doesn't translate to wins.
No, it does not.
I am a little disillusioned. I was extremely excited, as a lot of people were, when Matt Patricia came. And now what's happening is the defense seems especially porous, as opposed to, I was looking for these really exotic schemes to be working to our advantage, and then now the issue, and God bless Jeff Driscoll. I mean, I think he's hanging in there as best he can.
He tries hard.
He's trying really hard. But it's something, when I talk to friends at home and family, our issue always, it feels like it has been since Barry Sanders was on the field. I just spoke about a porous defense. Our issue is a porous offensive line. And I was really happy about the Ragnow pick at center a while back. He's a very mobile guy, but I don't know what the issue is. I really do. I'm mystified by it. I'm mystified.
Are you ready to part ways with Matthew Stafford and start a new era?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. I think it's shoring up issues in other parts of the team. I can't speak as much to the coaching personnel. I wish I could, but I don't have that expertise as much. I don't understand the way you would, Shannon, all the nuances of X's and O's here and there. I understand what a pulling guard does, but I don't understand. I don't understand where and how one changes a culture. And we've seen this Belichick thing happen so many times, where someone leaves and then you end up with an average or a subpar team. So I love Mrs. Ford. We have a relationship. Matt's been wonderful, and I think that Mr. Quinn has done a really good job. But it's not gelling the way I was expecting it to.
Yeah. So, Let's talk about my team, the Dallas Cowboys. Do you see contenders or pretenders so far? 6-5, can't get over the hump.
Can't get over the hump.
Yep.
I am sorry to say, Skip, that I think they're. I think it's welcome to pretender land. Population.
Told you.
Ooh.
I really do. It feels shaky.
They look shaky.
They look shaky, and it's interesting because I think they should be. If ever there was a ball-controlled team this season, they should be it. That I feel like when I watch them and I'm seeing Zeke, it feels like we should just be able to eat up clock and eat up clock and eat up clock, and it's not working the way I thought it would. What do you attribute that to?
We don't have
Like
enough.
over here. What was that, Shannon?
My
QB.
My quarterback is putting up big numbers, but he's not making the play at the moment
the
the game. I will give you that. But I'm now going to switch gears because I did a little bit with you when you came out about code switching.
Yes.
My quarterback, Dak Prescott, is biracial. We've seen a whole lot of athletes come along in recent years biracial. Lots of stars, Derek Jeter, Jason Kidd, we can go on and on.
Wilson, yeah.
And here we are with you being biracial. My quarterback is the leader of and the spokesman for America's team. Help me out. Try to identify with him as he handles media and teammates. How do you think it puts him in different positions through the day to be this and then be that?
Oh yeah, no, I think that you have to be a maestro at code switching. In both, there certainly is a cultural aspect because there may be a certain way to act in the locker room, and there may be a certain way to act in the locker room at different times.
That is correct.
There's a way you present yourself when the media is present. There's a way you should present yourself. My understanding is when it's just the boys.
Right.
And then a way to present yourself as a leader and a liaison between the coaching staff and the boys. Pardon the pun, the boys.
Right.
But so yes, I think that he is. Sometimes you forget, or I shouldn't say you. Sometimes I forget, and you'll get frustrated, and then you have to remember that these are young men. They're in their 20s. Some of these guys are in their early 20s. And it's funny when we speak about a veteran. A veteran is a person who is 7 to 8 years younger than me. And, a 40-year-old person is 8 years younger than me. And so I think you're right. I think that it's going to take some seasoning still for him to be that guy. Am I going to be able to be stalwart and almost stoic in front of the camera? Am I going to be able to be a fire plug in front of my players? And also, let's get even more granular. How am I speaking to the guys on my O-line? How am I talking to the backup quarterback? Is it my job already to still to try to coach him up? Then do I walk across the locker room and speak to the defensive guys? And how do I get them fired up? So because it's his job, and it is the QB's job, to make a cohesive unit, one huge unit that are just called the Cowboys. And it's not that he's lacking, it's just a matter of taking the time and allowing yourself to have that growth. Be where you are now, and allow yourself to have that growth.
So in your career, did it give you an advantage to be biracial? Could you sort of go
it does give you an advantage. I think what happens is you get to become a phrase that my partner Jordan Peele coined was, you get to be a racial referee. So at the end of the day, you've got your white family over here and your black family over here, and how you're responding and the way that you pronounce words.
Do you really talk? Because people always ask, do you really talk different to different sets of?
I do, and I felt like it's funny. My wife, who's white, my wife will walk down the street and she just goes, "It's amazing, it's amazing." I see it. And my favorite thing is when I see an older African American gentleman who know it must be a fan, someone who was alive when Dick Gregory was a comedian.
Okay,
and he goes, "Hey man, I see y'all. I see what y'all doing. All right, man, keep it up now." And then certain people I'm with will be like, "Do you know him?" I said, I know him here. Here. There is, sometimes what you're doing is you're putting other people at comfort. You're trying to put other people, you want to understand that you know where they're coming from. And there is a linguistic component to that. People go, "Oh, you speak the way the people in my neighborhood speak. I feel like you understand me." And I think that if you can do that, I try to do that on any show I am, is try to relate to members of the crew. Because if you let them know that they're important, and then they let you know that you're important, then everybody's there. It's like, I've got your back, I've got your back, I've got your back. And I think that works. Sometimes you speak differently and it's helpful. It's really, really helpful.
You brought up your partner, Jordan Peele, and I know you guys have risen in your own ways into your levels of achievement. I think you're both genius, but quick thought on what he has done in his own creative way.
Oh, yeah.
Get Out and Us and Keanu that you both starred in. But how amazed are you at what he is doing?
It's interesting. I'm actually not that amazed. He has been, I've known him for 15, 16 years. And what's interesting is he's been a horror connoisseur since he was a child. And it's fascinating. His grandmother took him to a movie when he was a young man. His grandmother took me to see The Garbage Pail Kids. And they left the movie theater in Manhattan. He grew up in New York City. And his grandmother goes, now that was an awful movie. And I'm gonna explain to you why. She wanted him to understand why the movie was bad. And I think having that sense of understanding how that you can critique something and you're allowed to critique something. And she was teaching him that there's a standard of filmmaking, even as a child. And that's something that stuck with him. I've heard him say it often in interviews. And, the different types of horror, comedy. He also feels that comedy and horror are very similar. It's based on the element of surprise. That we're expecting everything to go this way, and then it's football, right? Gonna do the draw. Everything's going that way.
Kind of like the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, you expect them to be good every time.
That was too easy.
I saw what you did there.
I didn't think that worked at all.
I saw what you did.
I didn't think that made any sense.
Skip's like, I didn't see him doing that.
He was on a roll and you completely derailed where he was heading.
I saw what he did there. He good.
Co-opted the
We find a way on this show.
You code switched on me.
No, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And the fact that he's making something important. It's interesting for him to do something in that genre. It's not making horror. It's making social horror.
Right.
Which is a small, tiny genre.
Yes.
You don't see that often.
Yes.
People Under the Stairs and maybe Night of the Living Dead are the only two movies I can think of that where a filmmaker had purposed to make a social comment using that genre. And I really, if I may, there are people, all respect to George Romero. I don't know that anybody's done it better. Maybe as good, but no one has done it better than Jordan.
Agree.
He's the upper echelon of that
because
genre.
Get Out was not only chilling, but it was a strong social commentary as you can.
A beautiful piece of satire.
That's so interesting to think about that dynamic. You are one of the busiest guys in Hollywood, so I hope you can stick around for a little bit longer. One more segment. We have a lot more to get to.
Yes, we do.
I got to keep setting up Shannon.
He's gonna love this. Keegan-Michael Key back with us. You can catch Keegan hosting Brain Games on Nat Geo this winter. So tell us quickly about that.
So Brain Games is a television show that is all about how the brain works and why it works the way it does in any given situation. And we have episodes that are thematic. So an episode about, there's an episode called Battle of the Sexes and an episode about performance. And in that episode, actually, we have Drew Brees. Drew Brees is our guest, and it's about reaction time, performance, tracking 1, 2, or 3 things at the same time, and how the human brain does it, and how the athlete's mind is different than other minds genetically.
Oh, that's interesting.
Episodes on love and attraction. So it's really, I love. It's weird. When I'm by myself and I have time to read, I typically find myself reading books, often reading books about Formula One racing and neurobiology. So it was a really perfect fit for me, and I enjoy it so much. It's a fascinating show.
That's cool.
And a great show to watch with your kids.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Also, we have some video of you.
We have video?
Yeah, in full Rams gear. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's happening here, but I would like you to walk us through.
Okay, all right.
Because you look like a natural.
Yeah, we were shooting a package for another show I was doing. Look at this. I one-stepped it. I just one-stepped. I just took one step. And it's a package we're shooting for a show I'm doing for CBS, and we're doing these really fun field pieces. And here's the thing. I've been watching field goal kickers do this my entire life. So everyone says, how did you get the form? I'm like, that's just repetition. I've been watching guys do that for years.
But wait, you head-oned it. You didn't soccer it.
I didn't soccer it. I kind of...
toe first.
I towed it. I towed it.
And you nailed it?
And my leg still hurts because it requires muscles I didn't know I had. It is so difficult. You just got to get under the ball and get lift. If you get lift, you've got a chance to get it to go. Now, you notice I pulled it a little bit. I pulled it a little bit, but I got it through. But it went through.
Yeah.
It went through. And that's right there, Steven Jackson, Orlando Pace and Torrey Holt.
See, those kickers
That's who taught me how to
appreciate-
field goal kick.
And this was first time, this was the one-shot deal?
It was a one-shot deal.
Woo.
And when we got to the stadium, there was nobody there.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I'm good. I just practiced. I got feel. I'm still feeling kinesthetic about this. And then by the time we got, I was like, guys, are we going? Are we going? And by the time we walked out there, you start waving. There's 35 people out here.
Right.
People are just trickling in.
Right.
But it was.
Well done.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It was absolutely. I tried to soccer kick him in practice. I mean, don't get fancy.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Just get your foot on the bottom of that ball. Just get your foot on the bottom ball and lift that thing up.
Speaking of that stadium, last night there was this young man named Lamar Jackson.
Oh,
who
who's this young man?
Yes.
we have dedicated pretty much this whole show to talking about how he has revolutionized pro football. Your quick take on him?
I think he is a phenom. I will say this. One of my favorite things about football is now in the next 2 seasons, we get to watch defenses adapt to a mobile quarterback. Through my life as a football fan, my favorite thing is watching defenses and defensive coordinators adapt to a mobile quarterback. Fran Tarkenton, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, and somebody said, who said yesterday or Saturday, someone said, don't compare Lamar Jackson to anybody but himself. Let him be who he is. And I can't remember who said it, but I think that is apt and wise knowledge for us to put forward, because I feel that he has both skill sets, and I think as he gets older and comes into his role, he's going to become more dangerous. But that's the thing, is I love the chess game, because I love that the chess game doesn't stop when football season ends. It's just trying to figure out what's the wrinkle here, or how do we chip that guard, or is there a way to seal him in, or if he runs, what do the safeties do? And it'll take 2 or 3 seasons, and then someone will figure it out, and then it gets really interesting. But he is a phenom. I think he is the real deal, and I don't have a prediction as to what they'll do in the playoffs, but my feeling is them going deep into the playoffs is, all right, I'll say it, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I really do. And also that they will go deep. That they will go. I would not be surprised. I understand that the Patriots are 10-1. I get it, but I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if they were in the AFC Championship game. I also
probably be at Tom Brady's.
At Tom Brady's house. Yeah. Also, I love this. I love all this with Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram did my producing partner and I made a thing for the Pro Bowl. And I made a thing for the Pro Bowl a couple years ago. And Mark Ingram is a very good actor. I just want to say that. Yeah, he's dynamic, but he also knows when to be subtle. I mean, he has a career after football in front of the camera, Mark Ingram.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So, speaking of Tom Brady.
Doing over there.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Shannon Sharpe here lately.
Shannon's been so sweet.
Yeah, there's this
to
guy.
Let me John talk.
A guy named Tom Brady who's 42 years of age, and his team is 10-1. Shannon gives the defense all the credit for that. Are you surprised at the level at which he continues to play?
I am mildly surprised. I would like to jump in the backseat of Shannon's defense car. I think they are the ones. I mean, I really do, Skip. It's been interesting seeing. We're not used to seeing the Patriots win a game and have the final scoreboard be like a 1-7, 17, 24.
13.
Or win a game in which the quarterback doesn't throw a touchdown pass, but the receiver does. But that's none of my business. I don't even know why I brought that up, Keegan. Go ahead, kid. I'm out of turn. I'm out of place for talking.
It is. I think that we're actually seeing a man under center in New England who's a human being. I do. I mean, eventually, it's wear and tear. I mean, what are you going to do eventually? But also, he's lost some key components in his receiving core.
Like all of them? Except Edelman?
Except for Julian. It's funny. It's almost like Julian is to Tom what Michael Thomas is to Drew. And I understand. I think that he still certainly has gas in the tank, but they got to help him. They got to help him. You're right. The defense is
He on fumes. He riding on fumes.
I agree.
The light on. The light on. Now you can wait. You can pull to the gas station, Skip, which is be end of this year, or you can keep trying to ride. It's going to put you downside the road at some point next year.
So are you now predicting this is the end of the line for Tom Brady?
In New England. I've said that before.
Okay, well, why wouldn't it be the end of the line, period?
Because somebody else think they got something. Because you can fool somebody else. Because remember, Skip, Indy thought it was the end of the line for Peyton.
Yeah.
But he went and other teams wanted him.
Fair.
Somebody else will think he still have something in the tank. But Coach Belichick says, nah, we full.
Okay, but wait a second.
No vacancies here for you.
Denver said, yeah, Peyton will take you. And what happened?
And Coach Belichick,
MVP happened.
But Coach Belichick says, okay, somebody else can take that on. I'm going to build this bridge out for the foreseeable future. I got another year, and then I get stuck. I'm supposed to have Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm supposed to have 15 years of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what he's supposed to have.
You really want that?
That's what, yes.
Yeah.
He want it.
Okay, what do you keep telling me is the one fatal flaw for the San Francisco 49ers? Jimmy Garoppolo.
But he wouldn't be that in Coach Belichick.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, Shannon, if Garoppolo was supposed to be there, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Now, since he is not, how long does Belichick stay in New England?
Both guys are trying to wait the other guy out because I want to get the credit for this success.
Yep.
And so now we're gonna find out. Coach Belichick's, I'm gonna coach now. I said I was gonna coach till I'm 70, but now I feel reinvigorated. I'm gonna coach that. Now you hear Tom talking about I'm gonna play till I'm 47. See, the other guys trying to wait. Because if I can win one without you, I'm going to get the lion's share of the credit for this team's success.
Which, of course, would motivate Tom Brady if he went anywhere. I mean, if he'll always be a lion. He'll always be a competitor. I tell you what, if what you're saying is true, and I believe it is, because it's so funny, I haven't thought of it that way, that they're waiting each other. It's just a game of chicken. Could you imagine if someone traded Tom Brady to the Jets? He'd take the Jets to the playoffs. I said, he'd take the Jets to the playoffs. He'd take the Jets to the playoffs.
I would like to see a trade of Tom Brady to the 49ers and Jimmy G back to Belichick. And then let's tee it up and see what happens.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to happen.
Why not?
Why would I give up 1 year for 12?
Huh? Well, hey, one Super Bowl for whatever.
Got a potential of 3 or 4. Ain't no guarantee.
Huh.
You got 43-year-olds.
With the 49ers, Tom might win 3 straight Super Bowls.
No, he won't.
Yep.
He ain't playing 3 more years. This is it.
10-1 right now.
They're doing pretty good.
Without Tom.
Again, another defense.
Exactly.
So
another
let's
dominant
switch gears to college football. Again, you grew up a University of Michigan fan in Detroit, but you attended Penn State University.
Yes.
Quick thought on
ambivalence here.
Ohio State just took care of your team barely. Your backup quarterback, he put some plays on him, man.
Yeah.
But now we got Ohio State at Michigan. Gut feeling on that game?
I don't see anybody stopping Ohio State this year until they get to the playoff. I just really talk about the consistency. Talk about a college program that's doing what Belichick is talking about. They just keep lining everybody up. I don't understand how they do the recruiting they do.
Kind of like Alabama?
Incredible.
Yeah, what's it?
Kind of like Alabama.
Used to be.
We're not out of. You know the Alabama Invitational is coming up pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Right? College football playoff. That's what you call it, Alabama.
How did you do in that last year?
We go every year. We can't win it every year. They're going to cut it out.
You keep losing.
How you going to win your own tournament? If you can't keep starting all your own movie. People gonna start watching. I already know how you gonna do it. Let somebody else do it.
I want you to star in your own movie.
We will this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm afraid.
You let somebody else start.
I'm afraid the Ohio State looks pretty invincible.
Ohio State looks good. LSU looks good.
Yeah.
Don't count Clemson out now.
No, and I wouldn't. Now, if I don't know. So, no, the other thing is, look, they're going to win the Big Ten. I mean, who are they even going to play in the West?
Either it could be Minnesota or Wisconsin based on this weekend.
Wisconsin want no more parts of it.
And you know, we saw what, it's not, it's a hard one, regardless.
It's a hard one. They're going to come out on top. I'll tell you, my feeling right now is the Big Ten championship game is going to be a blowout. And then the Big Ten championship is going to be a blowout. Then my fear, this is what I always get, because then what happens is, and anybody watching from Michigan, you forgive me, but when we get into bowl season, then I become a Big Ten guy. I want a good Big Ten record at the end of the bowl season.
Sure.
Okay, right? So I will I'll root for Ohio State. And I get nervous in the playoff because who did they lose to? A few years back?
They lost to Clemson, didn't they?
It was Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It was
4 years
Clemson.
ago.
I'm getting nervous. I don't want that to happen again. Because
Have they been challenged?
It's that weird SEC Big Ten thing.
You know we do. There's a factor down there. SEC
You act like you.
Alabama, LSU, Georgia, loaded. Florida.
Just me, I'd like to see Jim Harbaugh rise up and win one for once this Saturday.
This Saturday.
It would be great to see.
Epic
It would
if
be
that
epic.
happened.
And just so you guys know, snow in the forecast for me on that one Saturday.
It'll be like 20 degrees.
This is gonna be
flurries all over the place.
Big Ten.
Ohio
at
State
its
lose,
finest.
boy. The college football players will be.
That would be.
All right, Keegan, I wish we could keep you all day.
So do
every
I.
day.
I'd
So
love to
good to
be
have
here.
you.
Oh my God.
Really appreciate
Congratulations on
everything.
everything. Way to
Yeah,
go.
you are a busy guy, so enjoy your holidays. According to a report, the Cowboys were informed by the league office that the 2 tripping penalties called against them in the 13-9 loss against the Patriots should not have been called. The second one negated a first down as Dallas was driving for a potential go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth. Instead, the Cowboys turned the ball over on downs after a long fourth down conversion to Amari Cooper got overturned by replay. So, Skip, does this make you feel better?
No, it just angered me even more. Infuriated me even more. Ripped my guts out
it
once
tormented
again.
you.
Yep, it did. Because I'm going to say this all the way to my grave. I believe the Cowboys would have won that game without that tripping penalty. It felt special. It felt like my quarterback was going to out Brady at Brady. It felt like he had heated up with his glove on his right hand. He had figured out how to control the ball and put a new grip on the whole game. He was finally deciphering Belichick's defense. He was on a roll, and he had just completed a first down conversion pass on 3rd and short to Ezekiel Elliott, and here they came. And all of a sudden, a tripping penalty knocks them clear back into what became 4th and 11. Then he throws it to my ghost of a receiver named Amari Cooper. Used to be my favorite receiver.
It was raining.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to catch in the rain.
Definitely rain.
Okay.
Yep. But he should have caught that ball, and then we would have been set up for the concluding few plays to win the football game.
Yeah, you wasn't winning.
This is the story of my year. My team is now 6-5 because everything that could have gone right a year ago did go right, and everything that could go wrong just keeps going wrong.
Balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
Yeah.
You know all about balance.
Getting even with me are the NFL gods.
They were going to catch the L regardless. And I know you want to see, because you've been using a lot of, and this is not the Skip Bayless that I know. You're using a lot of excuses. It was raining. It was cold. Dak is not used
Was that a fact? Was that a fact? Was that a fact? Yes.
Well, Tom Brady wasn't throwing
the
out the
NFL completely blew it. Well, how can you explain that there had been 7 tripping penalties through 190 NFL games, and all of a sudden they get 2 calls on them in one game, and they're both phantom? They're both. The NFL said we blew it both times.
I told you what happened. Coach Belichick or the staff alerted the officials that these guys be doing tripping. That's why they called it. And I said at the time, Skip, that was not tripping.
So effectively, he went back into Belichick mode, right?
No, hey, all he can do is bring something to their attention. They didn't have to call it.
Yeah.
But also, Skip, okay, let's say, just say for the sake of argument, what about those 10 other drives that the officials did not call tripping on? You didn't get a touchdown all day. So now all of a sudden it's colder. It's sleeting or raining or whatever the conditions are.
Gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Temperature in the mid-30s.
Exactly.
Yep.
But so you couldn't do it when it was in the 40s and raining, and Gus was not up to 40, but you're going to do it at that point in time. Just go ahead and take a look. All you was doing was delaying inevitable, because you had me out there in the cold longer than what I should have been. Get me to the room, let me get showered up, let me get on the plane and get back to Dallas so I can get ready for Thanksgiving Day. That's what you should have done. You had no chance of winning the game. So I'm sorry the NFL brought you that bad news and gave you a glimmer of hope. See, I told you, that was just all the NFL did was give you another excuse to talk about why your sorry Cowboys lost the game. Admit it. They're not exactly what you thought they were.
They have not been because they can't make the play at the moment.
So what
It
good
has
is that?
been so close. Do you remember the Randall Cobb play at New Orleans in a 12-10 game? Could we see that play? This is a rifle shot from my quarterback. 12-10, and I'm thinking, this is it.
I'm not.
It looked like he was gone on this play. What a throw that was. And I thought, oh, he's escaped. No, he hasn't escaped. And the same play happened effectively at New England earlier in the fourth quarter. I thought he was loose off the sideline. I did.
Skip, you see the way that man running? He ain't loose.
Boy, he sure looked loose to me.
I mean, McCoy.
You know what? If Aaron Rodgers had thrown him that ball in Green Bay, he would have trucked to the house.
First of all, Devin McCourty looked like he had the ball the way he was pulling away.
Okay.
Pulled up on it and then punched the ball out of his hands.
Well, what happened to Randall Cobb who could fly? Do you remember him last year against the Bears on opening night? Remember when he broke away?
That was a lot of zigzags.
Okay.
But no.
Okay.
I'm sorry. See, NFL, this is what you do. And see, that's the last 2-minute report. Because all it does is give people false sense. See, I told you no, you wouldn't. Skip, you were not winning this game.
Yeah. So, do you realize my team hasn't been blown out one time? And do you realize that a pass to Jason Witten in the end zone for a 2-point conversion to go to overtime at Jets is an obvious pass interference on Marcus May. He just jumps all over his back. But what happens? They don't give him the call because it's not our year. That's how it feels to me.
You do know that not getting blown out, losing a game, and not getting blown out just because you lost by 5 points or 7 points, you don't get half a L. You get the whole L. So it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 45. You lost.
Okay, I agree. We fell behind 31-3 to Green Bay, and then here came my quarterback, threw for 323 in the second half, and it comes down to a chip shot field goal to get an onside, and Brett the Fret Maher missed it. He missed a chip shot.
I just want to know, why were you behind to begin with?
Okay, because my defense didn't show up.
Okay, what about your offense?
My head coach couldn't motivate you to come on this show.
Okay,
Yeah.
What about your offense?
What about it? Came back, he threw for 463.
I'm trying to figure out why you had to come back.
Well, you get 4 quarters.
Yeah, exactly. And you lost all of them.
Yep.
You lost all of them.
Okay, he threw a pass in the first quarter that hit Amari right there in his hands, and Amari continues to say, I blew it. And it blew the whole game because the pass got returned, the interception was returned for 53 yards.
So one play now determines the game in the first quarter.
It did. That one did.
Your quarterback didn't play well.
And then it brings me to the Jenny Memorial Vikings game, and what happened? My quarterback goes from the 6-yard line all the way down to 2nd and 2 at the 11, and then all of a sudden the game goes back to Zeke, and we are Zeked out, and we are done.
And they put the ball in your quarterback hand, and Dak out.
That's not what I saw.
Dacking out. That's
so
what
I got 5 close losses.
This is the
5
Cowboys.
narrow losses.
Instead of 3 and out, I'm gonna call it dacking out.
Yep.
And no more 3 and out. Dacking out. That's what you did against the Patriots all day long. Dacking out.
You picked my team to win at Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I wasn't disappointed.
Why would you do that?
Because everybody kept telling me, you've been, since 2016, I have not seen a guy come into the league. Nobody has more game-winning drive other than the guy in Foxborough.
Fact.
He has declines completion percentage.
Fact.
Yada, yada, yada.
Fact.
Everybody needs to build it. They talk about the bull job this offense is built around Zeke. This is Dak. Dak is MVP. And so I said, okay, I'll let y'all talk me into it. You, Clarence Hill, Bill Barnwell, and whoever else wrote that article. Todd Archer. Now what?
Well, now what? You lost.
Yeah. And now, but I'm not nearly disappointed as you are.
So we're 6-5, and we still have a game lead in the division.
About to be 6-6.
Oh,
about to be 6-6.
Can we get due on that?
We got 2 days away.
I'll tell you what. I'll take 5 cases right now on Dallas over Buffalo. I'll take 5. That's how confident I am.
I think it's time for Skip them to stop talking about Sunday and start focusing on the game in 2 days. That's what worries me.
Yeah, you talking about Sunday already. They're not replaying that game. You know they don't replay
Tuesday. We got to look ahead
here. Have they ever played a game? Have they ever replayed an NFL game? I don't think so.
You know what? I think that one should be replayed. We should go right back to 1st and 10 at the 50.
And guess what? You still catch another L. You catch another L.
I do agree, though. It would have been nice to see it not in a torrential downpour. Just because I think it would have
my team would have won on a dry night.
Hold on. What happened to this is football weather?
Just in general. I just would rather see it. So another day.
No mercy.
So the Ravens had a big statement win with their 45-6 victory over the Rams last night, but the 49ers also cemented their status as one of the best teams in the NFL by throttling the Packers on Sunday. And this weekend on Fox, these two teams will meet in what could be How about a little Super Bowl preview? So, Shannon, which of these teams has a better chance to make a playoff run, a deep playoff run, Ravens or 49ers?
Skip, I'm going to take the Ravens, and I'm going to tell you why. When I look at the playoff, the first thing I go to is I look at the quarterback. And I believe I trust Lamar more than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy has 14 turnovers, which is fifth most in the NFL. And you turn the ball in the playoffs, you pay double. And there have been games this year they've won, but he hadn't played well because he's turned the ball over.
Yep.
And that's what happened against the Russell Wilson. I mean, when they lost to Seattle, turned the ball over. You can't put the ball in harm's way. And him having to go through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, I just think the road would be tougher for the 49ers. And I trust Lamar Jackson currently because he's playing unbelievable. Now, and both teams look like they're on a magic carpet ride, Skip. But I just, in a situation like this, I'm going to trust Lamar Jackson a little more than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think their style will travel because they can run it. They can run it. And everybody says, well, okay, we're going to stop you running. Okay, well, good luck with that. When you run the ball for 210 yards a game, no, that's not an accident. That's a commitment to that. That's a physical style of football, and he throws it well enough. And he's getting better at throwing the football. So I would trust the Ravens more than I trust the 49ers.
So I do agree with this. These are the two late November, out-of-nowhere buzzsaw teams. They have both caught fire, and they both eye test like two potential Super Bowl teams of this moment. If I had to say...
Rematch. Might be a rematch.
Could be. But then I look at the schedule. And if you told me that the San Francisco 49ers were going to have two home playoff games to get to the Super Bowl, I'd give them a real good shot because they are really, really good at home.
Right.
I would trust Jimmy G at home much more than I would on the road. But speaking of road, they now have to go to Baltimore, then they have to go to Drew Brees, and they end up at Russell Wilson.
Who's already beat him.
I know, he already beat him. So, to me, and that was the overtime game at San Francisco on, was it Thursday night, I think it was? So, the point is...
Or Monday night.
Yeah, well, I can't remember which one it was. But the point was that I'm seeing them lose 3 road games down the stretch.
Wow.
Okay? So, if they lose 3, all of a sudden, I don't know. It looks like either New Orleans or Seattle could rise up and have home field advantage for the NFC Championship game, right?
You definitely don't want New Orleans to have home field advantage. And Seattle, the 12th man is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But to try to beat them 2 years in a row in that dome, I don't believe they lose 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't either. Which brings me back to Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he has revolutionized the quarterback position. He is starting to run away with MVP, and their team has the look of invincible to me. It has all the right ingredients to run to the Super Bowl. But it still looks to me like New England's going to win out.
Yes.
Okay? It got at Texans, then you got your man Mahomes going not Holmes but road, right?
Yep.
Your road boy is going to be at New England. I think New England will win those games, and then they have 3 gimmies to end up the year.
Right.
So if they win out and keep the 1-game advantage, that would mean the AFC Championship game would be in Foxborough.
Yep.
It's just me right here, right now, and I know I'm still hanging in because I'm a Brady fan, but I just can't see Lamar pulling it off again against New England in Tom's house. I just can't see it. Are they equipped to do it? You better believe they are. Would they go in with great confidence? You know they would.
Yep.
Do the Ravens have a legacy, a history, a tradition of winning in Foxborough in the postseason? They do.
They do.
It's not this team, but it is the history of
that.
Right?
It's Skip, everybody talks about the 49ers defense, and it's been exemplary this year, but the Ravens they're 5th in scoring.
Yep.
They're better than you think. And, they line up those first rounders. Marcus Peters was a first-round draft pick. Marlon Humphrey was a first-round draft pick. Jimmy Smith was a first-round draft pick. Earl Thomas was a first-round draft pick. So they're loading the back end, and they get after the quarterback better than what you would think. Like I said, they don't have the Suggs. They don't have the Ray Lewises, the Ed Reeds. They don't have that type of
They
big
don't even
name.
have C.J. Mosley anymore.
But those guys play hard.
They play hard, and they play physically on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
So it would be a tough matchup for Tom Brady at home. I just think if you give him a revenge chip on his shoulder, I think he would get even with Lamar in that game.
Yeah, I just trust Lamar. All that being said, I trust Lamar more than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'll buy that.
At this point, okay. Carmelo Anthony looked like the Melo of old last night, hitting 4 threes and even throwing down a baseline dunk on his way to 25 points in the Blazers' 117-94 win over the Bulls. In 4 games so far this season, the 10-time All-Star is averaging 16 points and 5 boards. So, Shannon, how surprised were you by Melo's performance?
Well, I was really surprised because I thought it would take him longer to get his legs back under him, Skip. He'd been away from the game for over a year and hadn't played, in an NBA basketball. Playing pickup with your homeboys or practicing in the gym is not the same thing as NBA basketball. But if you're going to let him play like this, are they going to continue to let him ISO? Because if they're going to continue to let him ISO, Skip, he can put up points like this. That's the question that you're going to have to ask yourself. So it's going to throw CJ, and I believe it'll throw CJ and Dame off their games because they're not used to playing that style of ball. They need the ball in their hands. But if you let Melo play like this, I believe he can give you somewhere between 15 and 20 points a night.
I was so happy for him last night.
Yeah.
That was vintage.
Yes.
He exploded down the baseline for that dunk. That looked like great old Carmelo,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
He is going to help the Portland Trailblazers, who need a lot of help because they now have risen to all of 6 and 12, a la my no Spurs no, because they're both 6 and 12 and right now way out of the playoffs in the West. But the point was, he can shoot, man. He made 4 threes. So he had 4 out of 7. LeBron had 4 out of 7 last night, right?
Yeah.
So I'll take that because he's shooting 39% from 3. And again, Dame and CJ have not been able to get them over the hump. I think he might help them tread some water until Nurkic gets healthy.
Well, the thing is for them, Skip, it's not so much offense. They can't stop anybody. They're giving up 130-plus points on a nightly basis. So at some point in time, you got to play defense. Now, they put themselves behind the 8 ball. 6 and 12, Skip, the West is unlike it's ever been. You can get clipped on any given night. Forget the big dogs, the Houstons, the Clippers, the Lakers. You got to worry about
Phoenix
the
and
Kings.
the Timberwolves,
Yes.
right?
Thank you.
I know who we don't have to worry about. Oh, Spurs, no.
You're going to bring it up again?
Well, you know what? It's a long season.
Yeah, it's a short time to get there. I feel good about where I am.
That is it for us.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.